What's up, guys? Today is a hot day. This is gonna be a hot summer. All right, yesterday I took the day off, hung out with Steffi for the day. It was kind of nice to just relax and chill with the girlfriend. But today we're gonna get back to work. Fortunately, I know you guys are probably a little sick of the S13 content right now. I've definitely been shoving in you guys' face a lot. Getting my S13 back together, ready for the drift season, has been like my biggest goal, and we're there. Today is like the last day. We're really gonna have to focus on the S13. Then we can move on and hopefully work on the BMW. So if you guys know, Tommy F offered me an ultimatum. If we get 48 people to buy an entry to his TI giveaway, he's actually gonna give me his supercharger kit and possibly an M52 so we could swap the E36. If you guys want an entry to the giveaway to possibly win an amazing M3 powered TI, click the link below, it's just TommyFiat.com. Help me out, guys. We only need a few more. Now we're back from the dyno. Car is all tuned. Car feels absolutely amazing. There's a few little things we just gotta button up and we should be all set. I wanna get it done today because Admiral Z's actually in town and I kinda wanna go take it out and rip around with his S13 this week. So, first thing we gotta do is the exhaust. Here's my new one, here's my old one. As you can see, the new one has a flex in it, the old one doesn't. That's kind of why I wanted the new one. But the flex and the exhaust, which I already do have one, I just wanted to add more, is actually leading to more problems. And actually causes the downpipe to hang really low. And as you can tell, this one didn't last very long. We're gonna throw the old one back on. This is a good downpipe. Yeah, my shoes are off because it's so freaking hot out, but it's a gritty downpipe. We should be all set, clean it up, ready to throw back in, and we should be all good. So let's just get this in the car real quick. Alright guys, so I think we should be all set. As you can see, hopefully, you can still see the exhaust hangs a little bit lower than the frame rails, which I would prefer not to. I want the exhaust to sit slightly higher than the frame rails, or at least level with it, just in case I do bottom out, the exhaust isn't taking the hit. With the ISR mounts, they come with spacers, these things. Now these slip between your motor mounts and your subframe to basically raise the engine up and down. Theoretically, you want the engine as low as possible because that'll lower your center of gravity, which makes the car handle better. But in this case, I want to put a spacer in. My oil pan is actually pretty freaking low too, so I think just adding in one spacer won't hurt. I think I'll bring the exhaust and the oil pan slightly off the ground, so I'll have less issues, and I have plenty of clearance within the bay, as you could tell. I'm gonna jack the engine up on one side and try and slip one in. All right, as you guys can see, there's that orange thing is my motor mount. If you look close enough, I can't zoom in anymore. There's actually a gap between the motor mount and the bracket, so that's where we're gonna be slipping the plate through to raise the engine up slightly, and as you could tell, it's definitely up higher than before. We got the spacers in, and like an idiot, I forgot to film a before, but the oil pan is a little bit higher right there than the subframe. Before it was slightly lower, which is freaking me out because you can see my sway bar right there. I hope you can see it. It took, well, especially right there, it took a few beatings because the car's low, and it's just life. So now my oil pan's protected. So we're good. So the engine spacers are in. My oil pan is now above my subframe, which is awesome. Oh, I'm just sewed up, and she wanted to try and drive the Cappuccino. You ready to try and drive it?
I am. I'm excited. I'm ready.
Ready for right-hand drive?
Right. Well, we'll see.
Mom's a tall lady. Stay next to this thing, Mom. You'll do great.
I'll do fine.
We're gonna take the top off for her, get the full Cappuccino experience. The hardest part about driving right-hand drive is just shifting with your left hand. It's really weird. So all the gears are in the same order, pedals are in the same position, nothing's different besides your wipers and your blinkers.
Okay.
They're switched. Got it?
Wipers, blinkers switched.
That's it.
Okay, and I got my cell phone for 911. Jimmy, come get me.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Seat back all the way. All right, good luck.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, you fit great.
Yeah.
Watch your shoulder.
Okay. Okay.
Stay in your lane.
Nothing behind me.
They're good. They're tiny.
Go fast. I won't feel it.
How was it?
It was awesome.
You do well?
I did. Couple times, once to fourth. Or no, second to fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then second to fifth, and then whatever.
You get a lot of looks.
Yeah, it was great. The less you think about it,
yeah.
the easier it is to drive,
yeah.
just like with anything else. I think this car should be kept.
You like it that much?
Yeah, I like this car, and I trump Steph.
True.
So let your viewers let you know. Who should get the car? Mom trumps.
Guys, I actually just figured out how to actually put this thing in convertible mode. The top is like fully off now. I wish I did it for you before, but before, like, we had it like to here. But if you disconnect the back window right here, the thing goes all the way down. That's so much better. All right, guys, so I know today's been a little slow, but trying to get things done, trying to get the car set, and you guys are probably sick of this thing, but whatever, we're almost done with it. Last thing we really gotta do is, if you remember from the Dyno Day video, we had to hardwire my fuel pump. Fuel pump is technically just 2 wires, ground and a power. Hard powering it straight to the battery. So if you can listen, you hear my fuel pump go on. Now, the factory wiring just doesn't cut it. Especially over the years, more resistance builds up in the wire. Basically can't put the output that we need to the fuel pump efficiently. So by hard wiring it, basically gives you a nice short distance from the battery to the fuel pump so it can perform at greater volumetric flow rates. Tucker's gonna come help us. So what we have to do is we have to wire in a relay. I talk about relays all the time.
Just a switch.
Most part stores have generic 40 amp relays, which work fine. Some guys might prefer higher amp relays because it is an electric motor, but the 40 amp should do us just fine. First step, figure out where the hell you put the 40 amp relay. So with this, we're able to run low voltage through a switch where we can then turn on the relay, which allows a separate current straight through the thing that we want to put it through. And of course, it has to be grounded out to complete the little switch circuit, but easy enough. So we're gonna have a switch power, we're gonna have a ground, we're gonna have a power in, and we're gonna have a power out, or whatever you want to call it. So it's wired in. How's work, B-hole?
Fucking shitty. Tell you what.
What happened today?
It's just, you know, today was a make it work day. It was you fix this.
Did you make it work?
Make it look good. Yeah, I was gonna make it work.
We're making fantastic progress. So we have the power to the pump, we have the trigger from the chassis, all coming up nice here, and then the shield, the OEM shield, it's gonna cover all that. Hold on.
Gee, watch your lens, bro.
Guys, so I think we're all set. We're doing pretty good. So we'll finish up the ground. B-hole's tightening things.
You should go turn your key on. See if we can hear this guy pumping. Yeah. Hey.
Whoa, we did something right.
You can hear the relay. Turn it on. Fuck. Yeah.
You hear a click?
Yeah, you hear the small click. That's the relay coming on and off. Perfect. We got the relay right there. The 4 wires. And we have the red one down here is the power going to the pump. The white and black is the switch signal. And this is the power going to the relay, and this is the ground. Easy peasy.
And there it is. $7, overpriced. You could buy these online for I think like $2. So
yeah,
if you have patience, order it. Well, B-Hall got some random motivation to line my front end better because it was aligned like, well, the headlights and the fenders looked good, but the hood didn't align with any of it, and it looked kind of ass. So B-Hall, being the freaking body guy that he is,
it was gross.
It wasn't that bad. It was A1 fitment for a drift car.
No, it wasn't like, it's kind of a pain in the butt.
So B-Hall's looking at the center point of the radiator support, which is literally that hole right there. And then see the striker on the hood? We're way the heck off. So we need to bring the hood all the way over to the passenger side.
Yeah, but if you look at the back, right? If you stand up, you can see we're tight on this side. So you don't want to push the whole hood over.
We just need to.
We need to kind of give it a hand. So probably, you know, we got to loosen the bolts on the hood.
We started off by centering the hood, and now we're basically working the spaces of the fenders. Since they are fiberglass, they don't fit 100%. So trying to split the difference of gapping between the two until it fits perfectly. I think we got the headlights and corner markers to sit actually pretty well against the fenders, which is pretty good for fiberglass. Yeah. Turn on the hood latch, and we kind of put it together that's my Z32 hood latch.
Oops.
As you guys know, I've literally been waiting for a hood latch, my black Z forever, to finally drive the damn thing, and that's where it went. Played myself, but the new one should be in soon. Hopefully the thing's on like freaking back order, but it'll be good. S13 matters more right now. Boom! B-Hall, you did wonderful. Now this actually fits right there, unlike before. But for fiberglass, I would say that is amazing. Or even. A lot of trial and error.
That's what it takes.
I didn't think it was that bad before. Like, I thought it looked good. But now that everything's so tight, it's crazy how much better it does look. Like, the front end looks like it belongs together. It doesn't look like someone just swapped it on a car now. Like, even overlaps the grill better now, so the grill, like, looks a little bit sleeker. I'm pretty stoked about this. B-Haul's an amazing job. Just because it's a drift car doesn't mean you shouldn't try. Take your time, make your car cool. Why the hell not? Guys, here's another dumb one that a lot of people forget about. License plate lights. Now in most states you need lights to illuminate your license plate, which Connecticut's very strict. So I never had any on my bumper. The factory mount didn't work with the stock bumper. Something you like overlook very easily. I just took the factory ones and zip tied them up to the crash bar and turn the lights on. They kind of work. Now they sit behind the license plate, so it like doesn't do too much, but they're there. So legally, I tried. They sell like an LED bar that has like 2 little L brackets on it. You could actually use the screws on your license plate light to like have a nice lit up license plate. And I'm definitely just gonna order that. I don't know, I just haven't even thought about it. So I'm gonna order that, we'll wire that in, but for now, we're legal, we're good. Now let's see if it fits with the bumper on. Wow, it works so good.
Yeah, I can barely read it. This is good for stealth, I guess.
My God, it makes the silhouette, so it makes it harder to see.
You've backlit your license plate. You're supposed to front light it.
Oh,
Now it's clear to see that your marker lamps are working, even though you can't see the plate at all.
Drew Tube, why is your car out? What's happening?
Hard body left me stranded. Had to slap her back together, very half-assed.
So
as you can see,
it's okay. So Drew has my old dash in because his old dash was pretty hit up.
which is whose old dash?
Yours. So dude, this is what happens with all 240 cars. They just go in circles. I swear to God. Like, your interior is looking good, dude. I'm really stoked.
And that's like very not buttoned together.
Yeah, we gotta get your radio in, clean your carpet up.
Radio?
But your dash looks great. He cut it up a little bit tighter than his old dash because it looks like the previous owner used a jigsaw with a blindfold. So
Yeah,
I'm so happy you're driving it.
making a move finally.
He just bought Drew a new ECU. So Drew's on RF enthalpy, and RF enthalpy is great. It does good for him, but RF enthalpy is a like. You send out your ECU, they tune it to like what your specs are, and it goes in, and they hit, but they're not like chassis specific. So when you have a chassis that has a few corks that set up a little bit differently than other chassis, kind of like Drew's, it doesn't hit nearly as well, and you can't plug in, so you don't know what the hell is your car doing. So we actually found using this Motronic, like my ECU that we can get, and we're probably gonna throw my old tune on it because he has my exact same setup, and you can actually dial it in a little bit more, see what his car's actually doing.
I can't wait because after Jimmy got his tune that like sold it to me, I'm like, okay, I need a dyno tune now, or at least a different map.
Hopefully you get home.
Yeah.
All right, B-Haul, I think we did a pretty good job today getting the last little bit of the car dialed in.
I'm actually really happy with the way the front end fits now. Makes me feel better personally. I hope you like it.
With these kind of cars, especially when you build them from the shell up, there's a million little things that you kind of keeping up with, and we're getting there. I want this like full streetable, like very happy with. I don't want to worry about this car. That's the gist of it.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, so far so good, really. I mean, for doing a whole rebuild over the winter and hopping in the car, and it's performing really good. So
LZ's here for the week, and hopefully I can get him to go do some like tailgate runs with me or something like that. I really want to drive this car, and I think it'd be really fun to chase Adam. So Adam, if you're watching this, which you're probably not, hopefully we can drive together soon. I'm really excited. Yeah, there it is. So I think we're gonna end the video. I know today wasn't the most exciting thing ever, but we got a lot of things done down here today. I'm happy. It was a good day. My mom got to drive the cappuccino. She absolutely loved it, and she's gonna kick me out the house if I sell that thing now. So we got to figure something out. But there it is, guys. If you remember, if you guys want an entry to Tommy's TI giveaway, which is like really like it's stupid clean. It's M3 powered. It's put together right. Grab a t-shirt below is going to help me out because if we get a few more, he's going to give me that supercharger and hopefully an M52 also.
that is a really cool car. I saw it the other day in person, and it is nice. I would like one of those.
Exactly. So cop an entry below at TommyFI.com. Help us both out. It'll be fantastic. So besides that, I think we're done for tonight. I'll shut the hell up. So you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. And B-Haul,
have a great night.